Carlos is the best. Oh, I think I just put that on video. Coach Carlos is the best. I'll leave that on video. I don't need to edit that out. All right, square root method. So this is a method for solving quadratics. Maybe we should back up just a second here and talk big picture. Excuse me. Thank you. So one method we've done is factor and set the factors equal to 0. I've done that a lot. Today we're going to do the square root method. Probably the easiest method. The trouble is it doesn't always work. Or you can't always use it. I guess I should phrase it that way. If you're eligible to use it, it works, but you're not always eligible to use it. Tomorrow we'll do complete the square. And then I think after we get back from the break, maybe even next unit, we'll do the beloved quadratic formula. Much later. But big picture, these are different ways to solve ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So we know how to factor and set the factors equal to 0. Today we're going to do the square root method. 3x squared minus 48 equals 0. There's really not anything new in this method, so we're going to just jump in and do some together because there's not some magic formula, some tricky technique like complete the square. It's pretty straightforward. We just want to solve for x. Let's get x by itself. So if 3x squared minus 48 equals 0, what would you do to start to get x by itself? Add 48. So 3x squared equals 48. What would you like to do next? Divide by 3. So 48 divided by 3. You need to come out to the side and go longhand on it there. Is 16. And what would you do next? Square root. Hence the name, square root method. And so what would your answer be? Oh, that's the big mistake. That's the main issue with the square root method. Plus or minus. Why is it plus or minus? Why is there... You know why there's a plus or minus on that? Kelly? Okay. Yeah, you remember it, but you're not sure exactly why. Max?
Because you're squaring it. And so negative times negative equals positive.
Okay, that's a good explanation. Back here when we squared something to get to 16, we could square a positive or a negative to get to 16. So either answer is okay. In fact, sometimes I resort to calling this the plus or minus square root method. That makes it a little bit longer to say, but it might help you remember. Don't forget the plus or minus. Like that is the main issue with this method. Because everything else is stuff you've done before. Moving things around, adding, dividing, square rooting is not bad. Don't forget the plus or minus. Let's do one more and then we'll work some off the worksheet together. 4x squared plus 49 equals 0. This one won't be as clean. But there's still some things we can learn. Max, what do you want to do first on that one?
Subtract 49.
Subtract 49. So 4x squared equals negative 49. George, what do you want to do next?
Divide 4.
Good. So x squared equals, that doesn't really go in nicely, so we'll just leave it as negative 49 over 4, which still isn't too bad if you're kind of peeking ahead. Angelina, what would you like to do next to get x by itself? Square root both sides. Okay, now's where we got to be careful. So we've got x by itself. We need to be careful about cleaning up the right-hand side. Aiden, tell me something. Like, there's a couple things you can do. What do you see? There's at least 3 things you could say here that would help us get toward the answer. So one of them was the main thing from last time that I cautioned us about forgetting. Plus or minus. So plus or minus is part of my answer. All right, so there's part of the issue. Layla, what else do you see that we could work on or fix? Okay. And so what would the square root of 49 over 4 be? Well, handle them separately. What's the square root of 49? 7, and the square root of 4? 2. And so that's not wrong, but we kind of went a little bit out of order here, Mason. What else am I missing? What's that negative? Well, how do we handle that? Kind of skipped over that in this problem. This is what we did yesterday. If there's a negative under the square root, how do we fix that? What do we do? What can I do with that? It's an I. So it comes out as an I. So that was a lot of things on that last little step. Square root of 49 over 4. Don't forget the plus or minus. And there's an I. Yep. Let's try another one of these. 3x squared plus 36 equals 0. All right, you try that one. Okay, that's fair. Fernando, what else do I need to think about here?
The thing I was thinking was the split 12.
Okay, we do need to split 12 up. How did you split 12 up?
What I'm thinking is 3 and 4.
3 and 4. Why did you pick 3 and 4?
I just realized that you had to multiply them because originally I chose 9 and 3 on my calculation.
Yes, that's right. Definitely want to pick some multiply things. But why 4 and 3? Why not 2 and 6? Right? 2 times 6 makes 12.
Because square root of 4 is 2.
There you go. And then I'm going to put that I right there. So 2I root 3, and I've sort of intentionally left something off, hoping that somebody Audrey would call my attention to this. What have I missed here? The plus or minus. And it's easy to forget. I don't know that anyone explicitly forgot it, but when you hit that step and there's like immediately 5 things to think about, sometimes you forget about the plus or minus part in the midst of handling the negative, handling the 12. Don't forget the plus or minus. Okay, so the method, you know all the pieces to the method, it's just putting it all together, especially on that last step when like 3 things happen at once. Billy?
I forgot if you said this or not, but will you continue to post off if it's the I, like after the 3? I know you said it's harder to tell.
As long as I can tell, like I would say that's pretty clear. And the reason I'm okay with that is because a lot of times in books later engineering courses especially, they'll put the I at the end. But it better be clear, like this is okay. Let's see if we can do one that's not okay. Like, that one looks like that I is under the radical. So if you put it at the end, it better be real clear that it's not under the radical. Okay, today's assignment Some of you like to race ahead, so I guess I'll tell you this ahead of time to save you well, I'll say it. Today's assignment is just the odds. I was going to wait to the end to say it, and then all those people who raced ahead would have done all the even problems. They'd have been better for it, but... Okay, so even though I'm assigning the odds, I want to work some of the evens with you, because I don't want to take all of your fun. I want to leave some for you to do. So let's do number 2. I'm thinking of you. This is all like I stuff. So this is stuff we know. We just have to be careful. If I distribute the 6, I would get negative 12 plus 48i. And then this kind of goes back to yesterday. Jordan, what's I times 4i?
5i squared.
Whoops.
No, 4i.
4i squared. I'll take that. Nothing wrong with that. But Hayden, what's I squared equal to? I is the square root of negative 1, which means I squared is negative 1. So this last piece, what does plus 4i squared become? Negative 4. Oh, and then we can combine like terms. Negative 16 plus 48i. So almost this entire worksheet is nothing new, just practice with I stuff. With that I squared equals negative 1. Why don't you try number 4? Distribute, careful with the I squared, collect like terms. Good catch. Again, some of you are going to skip that first step that I wrote. You're going to jump straight to this step. That's just a whole lot of signs going on to get to that minus 12. So, up to you. Let's see. Usually we put the real number part first. So, negative 3 plus 9i. Let's skip down to number 10. What are you going to have to do on number 10? Foil. Number 12. What would you do first on number 12? I see a way to make things easier. So I will have to do the conjugate thing, but maybe before I even do the conjugate thing, I could simplify by 3. So we can divide everybody by 3. Just make life a little bit easier. And then I need to multiply by something. Brooklyn, what do you think we should multiply by? I'll draw a little bit of a hint here, maybe.
Oh,
Conjugate. Right. You don't have to know the name. It is conjugate. But what do I need to multiply by? It's called the conjugate, but what is it for this problem? Well, careful, because you only change that middle sign. So don't change. The opposite would suggest you change both signs. So change the middle sign, but that's still going to be a negative 2 and then plus 2i. And when we FOIL that, we got to multiply top and bottom. I'm going to do bottom first because that should clear the i's. Like the FOIL should take care of the i's. 4 minus 4i plus 4i. So, yep, sure enough. What about the last term? Negative 2i times positive 2i. Minus 4i squared, which is the same thing as plus 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. So 8 in the denominator. At the top, see, I'll just distribute the 3i. So negative 6i minus 6i squared, what's the same thing as minus 6i squared?
Wait, why is that?
Uh-oh, what did I mess up?
It's not, I don't think it's supposed to be minus.
It's not minus.
It's not minus, you're right. I would say I was trying to do too much in my head, but I don't know, I may have just missed the sign there. So what is positive 6i squared? Minus 6, yeah. And then how can I reduce this guy? By 2. Everybody can divide by 2. Okay, looking ahead, close to time. Remember, we're only doing odds. There's some more, 15 and 17. Those would be conjugate problems. Starting at 19, you can solve using the plus or minus square root method. We did a bunch of those. And then we get toward the end and use more factoring, because we love factoring. So, number 3, well, you could think of it either way. I would distribute the negative 4.
So we're doing all the way to 37?
Yep, so all the way. But it's just odds. They go quick. Some of them go really quick. Guess if you know how to factor, they go quick. The square root problem, there's only 4 of those. Those go pretty quick. So yes, 1 through 37 odd is the assignment for